right, welcome back to this Thing of Ours podcast
where we talk about all of life's highs and lows.
and everything in between. How you guys doing? Happy Sunday, folks. Tell us something good about you. Tell us something good. Tell us something amazing that's been happening in your life. Let's spread some positivity. Spread some love. So tell us something good. I can go first. I have a whole birthday month. Last episode, I told you guys I was turning 32. I kind of, like, when I was watching back on it, I kind of looked depressed when I said I was turning 32.
You did a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm actually not. I'm actually not sad about it. I don't mind aging.
Yeah.
And it's not something that I'm afraid of or that I fear or I try to prevent. It's just, it is what it is. But I played pickleball with my dad. And the reason why I mentioned that, because when I used to work at a gym, pickleball was like one of the main sports a lot of people enjoyed playing. It was mostly like, you know, the older generation that loved to play. But I love pickleball. I had so much fun playing. We went on Monday. We were in Montreal and we played with my dad.
Well, we were there for the weekend.
Yeah, we were there.
But we played on Monday.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I didn't even know that they turned like all the tennis courts into like also a pickleball court. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I honestly thought that it was a totally different like net, maybe a different height. Like I didn't know anything really about it.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, like in elementary school or whatever, I remember seeing the balls and they have the little holes in them.
Mm-hmm.
I always remembered that image in my head, but I couldn't remember anything else.
Okay.
Like what the rackets looked like. I couldn't remember what the net looked like, how the court was. But I remembered that ball.
Okay, see, I only heard about pickleball from when I started working at the gym. Okay. Like a couple of years ago. That's the only time I actually heard of pickleball.
And did you actually see anybody playing it?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention to them. It was mostly when they came to the front to drop off their 3 dogs, so that's how much it was for drop-ins. And then at the end, when they were walking out, they would talk to me, and I would say, "Oh, how was pickleball?" And they'd be like drenched in sweat. And I'm just like, "Yo, is pickleball really that serious? Pickleball is really that serious." Okay, I'm answering that question now that I've played. It's that serious.
It can get a little intense when you get a good rally going.
Like at first, it was pretty hard for me to learn how to serve because you got to be behind the line, and you're a lot further than the net. And it's almost like tennis, kind of.
It's like tennis. It's a smaller court, but the ball doesn't fly as far. Like, you actually have to give it a good amount of force to actually get it over. Mm-hmm. Because, first of all, the ball has holes in it. So the air is going through the ball. Okay,
physics. Give us a lesson.
Anyway. And I feel like the ball's so much lighter that the wind kind of catches it a little bit.
Okay.
So if you're serving against the wind, you actually have to put like quite a bit more force into your serve than you would if you're playing tennis. Because a tennis ball is heavy and it cuts through the wind better.
Okay, see, I didn't think that much to it, into it.
I guess, again, that's the Virgo in me, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. Very analytical, eh?
Yeah, I don't know why. I think of how things work and why they're working.
Maybe that's just something you're interested in.
Maybe. It's possible.
Yeah, but listen to this. I struggled, trying to learn how to serve, trying to hit the ball, learning the rules. Meanwhile, Curtis comes along. Never played pickleball in his life. Okay, we're learning the same time with my dad. My dad's teaching us how to play. And Curtis catches on so quick. Like, is that a Virgo thing or is that just a man thing? Like, are men naturally just good at picking like games and sports and video games up faster? Like,
I think
maybe this is just bias. So
I think certain ones are. I mean, I grew up playing sports, so picking up sports, like some people are just more athletic than others. Like, you ask an athletic woman, she'll pick it up probably pretty quick.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? Someone that's played sports their entire life, they would pick it up quickly. Right? Doesn't matter male or female. I don't think that really makes a difference. I think it's just, do you have that natural athletic ability?
See, I never played sports, so maybe I don't. But anyway, so I love pickleball that much, even though I wasn't that great at first. I ordered like 4 rackets off Amazon. The rackets that I did buy, I'll put them on the screen. They're decent. Okay, they're decent. Definitely if you're a beginner, I think, and if you want to learn, you got 4 rackets, and then you also get 6 balls. So there's 3 orange balls for indoors and 3 yellow balls for outdoors. So we went this morning, just me and Curtis. We went to go play. We went around like 7:30 in the morning because it's so hot here. And yeah, we played. Yes. I wish I had my hat. I didn't think about it. Ready? Yeah. Why are we matching up? I got your first. You got yours first. I feel like I got better.
You definitely did.
I got better at the serving. Yeah. And I tried to volley for the first time. And it didn't it didn't end bad. It was
You never
good.
explained what volleying is. So volleying is just like hitting it just straight out of the air without letting it bounce, right? So yeah, I mean, I think today was maybe the first time you actually tried that.
Yeah, it was.
And first attempts weren't great, but you got better at it.
Yeah.
And I think we played almost about an hour this morning. By the end of the hour, we were getting some good rallies going.
Yeah, I was getting pretty sweaty. And it's funny because after we played with my dad, right, it was the first time playing pickleball, my whole body was hurting. But that same morning we did go for a 5K run. But I was like at work, like, oh my gosh, I can't even lift up my arms.
Yeah.
My sides were hurting, my back was hurting, and realized that it was pickleball that made me
it definitely was not
like
the
that.
run.
Yeah, no.
It was not the 5K run, because that's your average run nowadays. So that wouldn't have been it. It was definitely learning and playing pickleball with your dad that made you sore.
Pickleball is definitely, if you're thinking about learning how to play, or if you just want to play for fun, like kind of what we're doing, it's definitely worth it. Get the rackets. They're not that expensive. I think they were like $90 for 4 rackets. So that was pretty good. And like I said, you got 6 balls off Amazon. We'll leave the ones that we use.
Yeah. And if you do have friends you can play with, you can play teams.
Yeah. Like you can play 2 or you could play 4. But it was worth it. What else did you think about pickleball?
I don't know. I think it's fun.
Yeah. I definitely think it's a sport I will continue wanting to learn how to play. Yeah. And when we get better, we can go to like the indoor courts and be like, oh, let's play against you. You know what I mean? And play against other couples or other teams.
Yeah, apparently
that's like
there's
way down the line when we get better.
It's not necessarily like a league, but I know your dad was saying like he's in like some sort of group where they can meet up and play against just random people. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it takes me a couple of tries to get something. I'm not like one of those people, I wish I was one of those people who just get things like that. Like, you know, those people who just understand things and just pick up things really quickly. I wish I was one of those people, but unfortunately, I'm not. Yeah. I'm those people who have to like learn it. It takes a couple of days to pick up something. So, but yeah, I'm really happy with the progress of learning how to play. So, yeah, let us know if you've ever played pickleball and if that's something you're interested in playing or you thought about playing.
Yeah, I don't know where this came about, though, because I know pickleball's been around for a very long time.
Has it?
Yes, it's been around for a very long time. I mean, as long as I've been alive, I know, like I said, when I was in school, there was pickleballs there. So it's not a new sport. But why all of a sudden it's getting all this attention and people are like
Obsessed with it.
Yeah,
I've
like-
become obsessed
like
with
there's
it.
a-
I want to play.
there's literally a group your dad's in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where did this come from? Why is everybody talking about pickleball now?
Yeah. I don't know, but it made me very competitive when we were playing. It was like I almost like wanted to beat you. I'm like, I gotta beat Curtis.
Yep. But no, it's very fun. It's very fun. So
But I have no idea where it came from. I have no idea, like, why all of a sudden it got popular, like really, really popular.
Yeah. But like here in Ottawa, there's actually, we found it the other night on Google. It literally shows every single pickleball court in all of Ottawa. So like we tried going the other night, every court. There's like 4 different courts around us. We drove to all of them. They were all full. And like the locations have 2 courts per location.
Yeah.
We drove to all of them and they were all full. And this was at like, what, 7 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
So that's why we decided to go early this morning to find one.
Yeah, because like you could play tennis on the exact same court as well. So that's something I found was always hard for me to learn how to do was play tennis. Like I remember when I was younger, my neighbor, we were the same age, and she's like, "Oh, let's go play some tennis." And I was like, "I don't know how to play," so she said she would teach me. And once again, I couldn't serve, and I just got over it.
Tennis, sorry, I'm a little tired. Tennis is a little bit harder. The racket's heavier. The ball is heavier. And you have a longer court. So it is harder.
Okay, so it's not just me.
No. No. When we did have to leave this morning, though, we left Trumpet at home. And every time we leave Trumpet at home, I obviously do feel bad, but I feel like it hurts you more.
What do you mean?
I don't know. The other day, you were saying something about different dogs. Oh, I think it was everyone around here has a beige dog. And then you said like Trumpet, and you looked in your back seat and he wasn't there.
Yeah, because he's always with us.
Yeah.
He goes everywhere with us because Ottawa allows dogs in most majority of the stores. So I try to bring Trumpet with us everywhere. You're right. Yeah, and I don't know. I kind of feel guilty when I have to leave him at home and I know I shouldn't bring him because let's say it's too hot. And let's say he can't go into like the grocery store with me. I have to leave him in the car. I try not to bring him with me when I know I'm going into like the grocery stores or if I know it's going to be like 32 degrees, right? You don't want to leave your dog in the car, even with the windows rolled down in that heat. So we have this little screen door, this little glass door that he can look out and see when we leave and when we come back. And when we leave, he's always at that glass door and you could see us pulling away. And he always just has this sad Cocker Spaniel, those big brown eyes, just look so sad that we're leaving him behind. And I feel really guilty. Like, I wonder if that's how the mom guilt feels.
I don't know. I mean, like when? Like leaving your child at daycare or like what do you mean?
I don't know. I've heard of moms say like, "Oh, I have mom guilt." I'm assuming that
Like
just
what,
means
though?
like, I'm assuming that means like they feel guilty about maybe leaving their kids at home, or maybe they feel like they're not being a good mom. Because that's how I feel. Like sometimes I feel like I'm not being a really good dog owner, or
When you leave him at home?
yeah, and he just looks so sad. Like, you know, when we go to work, he's here by himself. I'm trying to convince the person next to me that we need another dog, but that's not going so great. I think I'm just
I
gonna
don't see
have
anybody next to you. There's no one over there. Anyway.
You're a hot mess. I'm trying to convince the person next to me that we need another dog because the dog needs company. You know what I mean?
It would be nice for him to have company,
Yeah.
but
I feel guilty of the fact that we have to leave him here, and then he just looks sad. Like, what do they do? Like, what do they do all day?
I keep seeing these videos though, and you might have seen them too, but like it shows the dog that made us want a second one. And it shows a few clips of the first dog that they got, and he's like the best dog ever.
Yeah, that's
so
Trumpet.
gentle, like doesn't tear up anything. And then it skips to the next one, and then it says the new dog, and it's just wild, running around, tearing things up. Sorry, I swore there.
That's okay. You're getting a little bit excited to tell the story.
But yeah, it's running around, tearing things up, and yeah, I don't know if it's like almost like they regret getting that second dog.
I don't think you will ever regret getting a second dog, but I
Right.
would love to have another dog.
Yeah.
I'd get the same breed, the Cocker Spaniel. But yeah, I just feel like he's so sad at home, and I just feel guilty for leaving him there, because dogs live such a short life. And I want to spend as much as I can making him happy, letting him explore and having a good time. And he's become a part of the family. So when I leave him, it's like, oh, my poor baby's at home. Let me know if any other dog owners feel that way. Do you feel guilty for leaving your dog at home, or am I going crazy?
Yeah. I mean, and like back to your other question, like, is that the same as like mom guilt or parent guilt when you have a child, right? Like having to leave them at daycare because you have to go to work, you got to pay bills. So,
Or you feel like you're not being the best mom that you can be.
yeah.
Because maybe you got stressed about something.
You're missing parts of their like raising
childhood.
them, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't spend as much time as you would love to spend with them, right? I'd imagine it's the same.
Yeah. My pet peeve is when people tell me, because I know I will probably hear this, that your dog is not the same as a child. Trumpet, I feel like,
When you don't have a child,
yeah, like
your pet is your child.
yeah, that's how I feel. Right?
And people that don't have pets, I don't think understand that. They just don't.
Yeah, I think if you're not a pet owner, you don't get the same. You don't feel it how we feel it. I think you have to get a pet to understand what it feels like to have a dog. Yeah. But yeah, speaking of homes, there has been a lot of rental scams going around in our neighborhood, just in this province in general. I heard on the radio the other day going to work that there was a guy who was trying to get his in-laws a rental unit. It was a home. I think it had like 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, and it was going like, let's say 2,000. I think it was like 2,400 and something. And then they went to go see the house. That's like the worst part, is the fact that they went to the house, saw it, and they looked at the, the little sign of the realtor, and he said that like his face was the exact man that he saw and met up with at the house. So when he got to the house, him and his, I don't know if it was just him or if it was him and the in-laws, whoever it was, but the man was there, opened the door for him and allowed him to, tour the house, and they saw it, they really liked it. And the craziest part was that the neighbors actually saw this apparently, and they were saying how earlier that day, the lady noticed that, what is it, Smith Lock or Locksmith?
The locksmith.
Yeah, apparently they were there and they unlocked the door for this person. And I think the reason why they did that was because it was the same man on the poster. So that's probably why they're like,
didn't
oh
ask
yeah.
questions. They're just like, oh, the realtor, they lost their key, so they need to get in.
Yeah.
And he was.
So he was allowed in, and that's how he broke into the home.
See,
and
that's where I was wondering, like, how did he get in?
Yeah, like what proof did he have that he owned this house?
Because they always have that little lockbox where you need to punch in the code, then it opens, and the key's inside that box, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what they usually have on the handle. So like how? That's what I was wondering. Like how would he get in?
Me too,
but that makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, wouldn't you trust the guy? You see the man on the poster with a trusted realtor company. Yeah. So it's like you wouldn't really ask questions. I know I wouldn't have asked questions. Like, oh, same man that I see on the poster, same man that's showing me the house. Okay, let's go. Wow. So like apparently they toured the house, and there was about other like I think there was about like 10 other cars that were there too that was seeing this house, and they really liked the house, so they put in an offer. And then the guy said, okay, you got to e-transfer me first and last. And it turned out to be $5,300 that they had to transfer him. They e-transferred him. And I think the guy wrote back like, this is a scam. And that was it. And the guy was like, are you serious? Like, can you imagine?
The guy answered him and said that?
Yeah. That's what it showed. Like,
they
showed the
said,
text
thanks
message.
For your money?
Well, I don't think he said thanks for your money. I think he wrote like, this is a scam or something like that. And then, like, who knows how much more, like, who knows how much people this guy actually scammed. Apparently, he stole the guy. Like, apparently, this realtor's name is actually a real person.
Yeah.
But he just stole his name. Stole his identity,
he basically put his face on that guy's information.
Yeah. And when they called, like, you know, the company, the realtor company, they said, yeah, this person does work here, but he only showed this house once.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like a couple months ago. And they're like, no, like, we just met up with this person, and it turned out to be not true.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like, it's crazy how scary things are getting with these scamming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are creating fake websites that look identical to these real websites. It's like when I go online and I'm searching for, let's say, realtor companies, or I'm searching for just a company in general to shop on, I'm actually kind of nervous I'm going to click on the wrong website because these scammers are getting so good at creating these websites that look identical to the real one.
Like, even where you type, or like when you click it, it shows the website URL or whatever. It's like one letter is different, and your brain just doesn't register it. It just misses it. Right? So you think it's the right website. You just go about your life. You sign up for an account, or you do whatever you do, and you have no idea that it's not the proper one.
Like, even when I'm calling customer service, I'm just like, why are you asking me for this? Why do you want to know my birthday? Why? What does this have to do with this? Why do you want my SIN number? No, I'm not giving you that. And the lady's like, well, we have to confirm. Like, is there another way to confirm it? Like, I literally second guess I triple guess it. Because I'm like, why do you need to know that information? Like, even when I call my bank, I'm just like,
did I call the right number?
How come you don't know that? Like, what are you looking at on your other screen that you can't see? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm being very paranoid, but I just feel like I'm not at the same time.
You almost have to be.
Yeah.
Very cautious of what you do and what you click on, who you call. Because, like, I know with my work, there's 2 locations in Ottawa. And there's a lot of people that click on the wrong website, and they end up, like, they search, right? And it comes up when you search online, there's always those sponsored ones.
Yeah.
Right? The sponsored ones before the non-sponsored that are like the ones that you actually want to click on. But sometimes it'll show the business that you typed, and it's a sponsored one, but it's actually the wrong location. Because a lot of people end up calling my location, and I'm trying to look up their profile, look up their client information, and there's nothing there. I'm like, are you sure you're calling the right one? And then they tell me, and I'm like, oh, no, sorry, you got the wrong number.
Yeah.
You have to call this number. So, yeah, it's like literally all they need to do is make a fake website, sponsor it, pay to have it listed at the top, and people will click it.
We're about to tell you guys something crazy. When we first moved to Ottawa, maybe we never mentioned this, but we never saw the house that we were actually living in. Like, how did we not get scammed? I have no idea. Like, so here's what happened. We had like a week to move to Ottawa. Okay, I accepted a job, and I told them I can move here. I think it was like that Tuesday, and
Tell me how. Like, she could have been like, oh no, I'm going to need like 2-3 weeks at least to kind of get organized. No, she's in her interview and she says, I could be here next Monday.
And start Tuesday. So,
like, oh my.
Yeah. So when we drove to Ottawa, which was like, I think like 6 hours away from Sudbury at the time, we were staying in a hotel, and then we just, at the same time, we were looking at houses, or we were looking at apartments in general. And then we found one, and we're like, oh, I really like this one. So then we got in contact with the realtor. Like, this realtor contacted us and was like, hey, we're going to set you up with one of our team members. We didn't think anything of it. We're like, okay, sure. It was Remax, if we're being honest. So Remax is a trusted, realtor company. So we're like, oh, cool. So we started working with this person.
And I mean, at that time, I didn't even know, like, realtors or these companies like Remax, Royal LePage. Like, I don't know what there is in the States or anywhere else in the world. I didn't even know these people did rentals.
Me either.
Like, I had no idea that that was actually a thing. I just thought they sold houses, right? But anyway, continue.
So we saw a whole bunch of houses, and we didn't think anything of it. Like, we didn't even think this type of scam even was invented, you know? So finally, every house that we did find, it was taken within like seconds. Like, we put in an application, we wanted to be approved. The realtor contacted us saying, sorry, it just got rented. So then finally went back to Sudbury, and I was like, I'm still packing it because I'm like, I gotta move to Ottawa.
I already accepted this job. We're going.
I got like
whether
3
I stay in
days.
a hotel or whatever until we find somewhere.
Yeah, I got 3 days to pack this U-Haul, Curtis. Like, we gotta go. Yeah. So then finally, you were on the website again, and you found the spot that we're living in, but we never saw it. We're like, we have no other choice. So we just literally told the realtor that, okay, we want this house. And then she's like, okay. And then she looked into it. It was still available. We sent our application in, and it was approved. And she said, okay, now you have to transfer us money. And I was like, Curtis, but we don't even know who she actually is. Like, we're about to transfer her a lot of money. And I just kept like thinking to myself, like, is this a scam? Is this a scam? Like, what realtor does rentals? Like, we just didn't know at the time, right? Like, we were oblivious to this whole situation. We just knew that we were desperate and we needed to get into a spot. So we're like, okay, well, let's just take the chance. So we did it. But the problem was the difference. Now that I think back on how did we get lucky that we didn't get scammed? Well, one, we kind of did our, like, when we found out who she was, the realtor, we kind of went on the website and we saw her picture. And then we saw, like, you know, her achievements and whatever. We saw her whole team. And that was the same person we matched up with, too. But what happened was, with this guy that got scammed, he e-transferred him. What we had to do was...
we had to set up a payee.
Yeah, and then transfer it to the actual Remax company.
Like, pay an actual bill rather than e-transfer.
Yeah, like... So I think that's the difference. But how did we get lucky and not get scammed? Because that would have been the perfect situation to scam someone. Would be to our situation, which was
from out of town.
Yeah, we met up with you out of town, and it's like, yeah, we only have like 2 days to find a house. Can you help us? Yeah, sure, I'll help you.
And like, imagine if we thought everything was good, right?
Yeah.
We drove, we rented, like we had the U-Haul already. We filled it up.
Our whole life was in this
everything.
U-Haul.
We drove all the way here. I had my car on a dolly, right? Like, my car was towed with the U-Haul. You were following behind in your car. We drove everything out here, canceled our rent with the other one, to only show up, knock on the door, and there be someone in the house, be like, can I help you? Yeah,
because that's what happened to this company, like, to this guy. Like, the house that he thought he was about to get for his in-laws was already rented.
Yep.
But you know what was crazy though? When we did get here, we did have to wait a little bit for a realtor. Like, she wasn't answering her phone, and I was panicking. I was like, "What is going on? Did we just get scammed? Oh my gosh, Curtis! My dad's gonna kill me because then we have to confess that we never actually saw the house." But obviously, It all worked out. Like, it wasn't a scam. It was real. But, you know, I kind of feel bad for these people who do fall for these rental scams. You know,
I mean, or any real scam. Like, it's not cool. It's not cool how this world, like, it almost makes it easier with technology for people to create these different scams.
Yeah. But, like, have you heard about that girl? She bought something off Marketplace. I'm sure this is common now. And the guy wanted to e-transfer her, and then she accepted an e-transfer, but it was to like a different bank account that she normally doesn't use, but she just accepts money from. And it turned out that he was trying to take money from her. Like, you have to be so careful. Like, when it comes to me, when I'm trying to sell something, I don't do e-transfers. I'm like, sorry, no, I strictly cash.
Cash only.
Yeah, if you show up and you don't have cash, I'm not giving you the product. I'm sorry, it's just not going to work like that. Oh, I'll e-transfer you. No, you're not. No, you're not. Sorry, no, you're not. Like, I can understand, like, it makes life so much easier to e-transfer and to do a lot of, you know, paying stuff online instead of going into the bank. But it just makes it easier for people to scam you.
Yeah. Because if someone's going to do it, they're just going to send you the fake link and, like, Yeah, okay. And the person you're talking about, she got money in her account. Like they actually did transfer her the
Yeah.
money. So she thought it was legit, everything was fine. But then the bank ended up calling her because there was a withdrawal, right? It was just a
Hmm.
small amount. He just tested it. And then he tried one large one.
Yeah, and
And
that's when
that's
the bank
when,
was like, "That's weird. She never withdraws anything from this
yeah.
account." And yeah, that's how they caught him and froze the account. And the bank said, "Yeah, we froze it. You have to
Mhm.
go in."
Yeah, because normally she would just transfer back to a different account,
Hmm.
right? Because this was just strictly for the e-transfer transactions for her business. And then she would take that money, transfer it to a different account. Normally she doesn't withdraw from that account.
Hmm.
So the bank was like, yeah, this is suspicious. So he literally sent her money, put it in the account. So she thought everything was fine. And then that's when he went and did his scam.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Is there any
crazy.
crazy scams that you guys heard of that you got scammed by? Like, it's just crazy. It really is.
Yeah.
This is not a scam, but I remember when it wasn't a scam, but when I was in the bank, the craziest thing happened. I was actually with my mom. We were behind this guy at the realtor. Sorry, the realtor. We were behind the guy that was talking to the teller, and he was saying how like, you froze all my accounts, and they were like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean all your accounts are frozen?" He's like, "I can't access all my accounts. Like, why'd you guys freeze it?" Long story short, it was, I think it was the government or maybe it was the bank that mixed something up. So he was, let's just say, Michael John A. McDonald the second.
Okay.
And it was his dad who's John A. McDonald the first. He died, but they mixed him up with the second and put the second as deceased when it was really the first, his dad, who died. So they froze the second guy's account because they thought, I guess, that someone was trying to spend the second John A. McDonald second bank account. Does that make sense? I don't know. It was just crazy. I was in the bank like, what? They froze the wrong guy's bank account. And that was right before Christmas. So he had like no money. No money. Can you believe that nonsense?
Wow.
Yeah. They got mixed up. The second and the first, or the senior and the junior
Yeah.
type of person. Yeah. It was crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was like, do it actually make those mistakes? Like, you think that's something like in a movie, you know? Like, I feel like when things go bad, it almost like seems too bad to be real. Like, like, is this
Like
possible?
this stuff only happens in movies.
Yeah.
right?
Like, how do some people get so lucky to get away from not being scammed, whereas those who just aren't so lucky and they get
Yeah.
scammed?
Yeah, like what is the reason why some people like are lucky enough not to be,
Hmm.
and other people's aren't lucky?
Yeah. Like,
And things just happen to them. Like I know my mom, she got scammed out of $3,000.
and your aunt too. Remember
Yep.
the little pop-up screen said like, click on here to get rid of the virus, and your aunt clicked on it. I remember she was telling us a story that reminded me of the Bee Movie. Remember the Bee Movie? I fell asleep during it, so I really want to watch it. But the Bee Movie,
Yeah, what about it though?
when the lady, she thought she had a virus and she called the company. This is the only part I remember the whole movie. Then I fell asleep after.
Oh shoot, yes. I know what you're talking about.
And those scams are actually real.
Yeah.
Like, and they say, "Oh, that give us access to the computer."
I
And
thought you were
then-
talking about like the cartoon, A Bug's Life, or
Oh, you're talking about the Bee Movie with Jerry.
yes,
Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah.
yes, that's what I thought you were talking about. I was like,
No.
what happened in that one? How does that relate? But
That
yeah,
movie
like,
is called the Bee Movie, right?
I think
not
so.
not the one with Jerry. The other one with what's his name in it. The one that does like crazy fighting. The one was about a scam. I'm pretty sure it was called the Beehive or the Bee Movie. I can't remember.
Anyway, is there actually such thing as luck, or in our case, did we do kind of sort of enough due diligence on our side to not be scammed?
No, we got on our side.
Hey, I mean,
I know anyone can get scammed. I know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think like I don't know. I don't believe in luck. I believe in things are meant for you when it has to happen. But sometimes maybe things happen for to make another person aware that this type of stuff can happen to another person if you're not careful. Maybe you were used. I hate to say it, but maybe it's possible that you were used
for the better good of
to bring awareness
yeah.
to the community. Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Do you believe in luck?
I mean,
Do you believe there's such thing as luck?
I believe there is. I think some people just are lucky in certain situations. I do. And
Or maybe it's God's timing. I don't know. I think it depends on what we're talking about. Like,
I mean,
are you talking about luck, like casino luck, or are
like
you talking about
winning the lottery?
Yeah.
Where you have
What are your odds? Like 30 million or something?
yeah, 1 in 33 million for the Lotto Max here, and oh wait, no, is it 33 million?
I don't know.
Yes, it's 33
Either
million.
way,
But yes, like how do you get those 7 numbers correct? Like you got to be just lucky, or like what else is there? How do you just so happen to pick those right 7 numbers?
but sometimes if you want to talk about the lottery, people do quick pick where the machine just picks it for you.
Exactly. So you just got to be lucky. It's got to be the right time, the right location, where it just prints that proper number.
What if it's God's timing?
Well, that's possible.
Well, why do we have to use the word luck? The 4-clover leaf. Do you believe in that?
I don't know. I believe that. Well, yeah. I mean, I do believe it's luck. I do. I personally believe it's luck.
But why? Why do you have to believe that it's luck?
Well, I mean, what is luck? What is the actual definition of luck?
Let's just ask Google. Hey, Google, what is the definition of luck?
According to Wikipedia, luck is the phenomenon and belief that defines the experience of improbable events, especially improbably positive or negative ones.
So, to me, then, if you want to describe luck, it's just like something that seems impossible. Mm-hmm. You think it's impossible for you to happen because you're like, the odds of that happening is impossible. So you have to be lucky.
Yeah.
But what if the person just believed that it would happen for them? Believe it was their timing. But to you, it's luck because it just seems impossible.
So you're talking about having faith.
Yeah. What if it's just faith?
Having faith that it's going to happen. And I mean,
and everything will work out in the end.
It's not going to be your timing, but you have faith that it's going to happen.
Yeah, your timing will be right because what's meant for you will be for you.
But what if you have so much faith for something, but it's not actually for you and never actually comes true, regardless of how faithful you are?
Well, that's what a lot of things happen. Like a lot of people start businesses and then they go under. They have so much faith in their business that it tanks either way. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's a very hard topic to come up with an actual answer for, because I don't think there is a real answer.
Do you consider yourself lucky?
Or do you believe that something, if it's meant for you, it'll be for you, whether you are lucky or unlucky? It doesn't really matter.
But I'm asking, do you consider yourself lucky?
You're asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you. Yeah, like, do you consider yourself lucky? In all aspects of life. I'm not talking about finances, your family, who are your I'm just asking, do you think you are lucky or do you think you have bad luck?
No. I think for the most part, I am lucky. I mean,
yeah, you found me.
Anyway. No, I mean, first of all, to be born in Canada, mm-hmm. to a good family. We weren't like super rich, but we weren't broke. I grew up being able to play sports. I had friends. Like I had a decent childhood growing up. Like I was lucky in that sense. Mm-hmm. I've made it through a few car accidents, not hurt. Like I've been lucky overall throughout life.
Yeah.
I have been. And now those car accidents were not always my fault. Only one, I hit a moose myself. I wasn't driving in the others. So I've been lucky. Like I have been. Do I make some poor decisions in life that I suffer negative consequences because of them? Yes. But that is not to do with luck or being unlucky. Those are my personal decisions.
So then do you think luck now is man-made? Like we create our own luck? Because you just said that you were lucky that you had this good start of life, but then you made bad decisions, which made you unlucky at times. So do you think that we create our own luck? I'm asking you guys too. What do you think? Or are we going way over our heads and like, you guys are crazy, I'm done with this podcast? Let us know what you think, because I'm actually really curious to know.
I don't know. I think, yes, in certain situations, I mean, if you want to look at it that way, creating your own luck is not necessarily creating luck.
Like the lucky penny.
It's creating, like, if you're putting things in line and you're doing research and you're creating better probability of things happening, that's not necessarily luck anymore, because you've kind of rigged the game in your favor.
Okay.
That's not luck. Luck is literally doing nothing and it happening.
Okay.
Right? Like going to buy just that quick pick. Just going to the store, not picking any numbers, not doing anything, just saying, I want a quick pick. They print out some random numbers for you. That is luck.
But what makes you think? The thing is, you just said the person did nothing. But if that person didn't go to that store when they did,
Exactly.
right when they did, they would never have gotten that 7 lucky numbers. Someone else would have gotten those numbers. Or who knows if the machine would have even printed the numbers
That's
at that
exactly
moment.
my point. What made them go to that store at that exact moment?
Your gut.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's another
God
topic. Do you listen to your gut?
Put that in their head, like, hey,
Go to the store.
you're on your way home from work. Stop at this store.
Has that ever actually happened to you guys where you felt like someone told you, let's say you come to a stoplight, right? Someone told you to just slow down for a second, and then another car just went speeding right through the light. Like that's happened to me a couple of times where something just told me, slow down, slow down, you're going kind of fast. I slowed down, the light turned yellow. I said, I'm not going to go through this yellow light. And then all of a sudden this car just went right through it.
That actually just happened to us when we were coming back. So our last podcast, we went to Blue Mountain. We talked about going there for your birthday. On our way back, we made a couple stops along the way. And then we got up to a certain point and there was someone blocking the road with like lights on. I think was it a fire truck or a tow truck? I don't remember. But anyway, the road was completely closed. We found out afterwards, that there was an accident. Now, had we not actually stopped and you got a feeling of like, hey, let's stop at this store along the way.
But we stopped at multiple stores.
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, instead of just being like, I just want to drive straight home, along the way, something said, hey, let's stop at this store to pick up water bottle and a lottery ticket.
This man wanted to dehydrate me all the way home for like 6 hours, you guys.
You know?
I was
But,
so
like,
thirsty.
What was the reason? Was it actually, like, in your situation, was it God protecting us? Because that could have potentially been us that got into that accident. Right? So was it, in my scenario, was it luck that we just chose to stop at that store and prolong our journey so we missed that accident? Or was it God being like sending a signal to you, be like, I'm going to protect you by making you want to stop at this store?
Yeah.
That's what you kind of mean, right? I don't know.
Have you guys ever not listened to your gut and you're like, damn, I should listen to my gut? Like, there's so many incidences that I felt like God has saved me from. And that's why I can't put luck on it. I just feel like God put something in my brain or put something in my stomach that was like, this feeling doesn't feel right, you know? And I feel like I have a very good, I feel like I became very good at listening to my gut. Even when I come around people, I'm just like, this doesn't feel like a good energy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
And I've told you that multiple times. Like, I don't feel comfortable. I think I'm gonna leave. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't know if I trust this person. You know, like even when I'm watching bad movies, like no, I'm sorry. Even when I'm watching like movies, right? And there's a bad guy, you don't know who the bad guy is. I'm like, I have a feeling the bad guy is this person, and it ends up being that
usually
person.
ends up being that person.
Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm curious to know. Like, I'm obviously I'm not the only one. Like,
Yeah.
there's been times where I'm sure you've been saved, or you've been like, you kind of question something, and it turned out like, wow, I can't believe I actually listened to my gut, and thank God I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. And you've said that for years and years. Like when we just driving down the road normally, and all of a sudden the light turns yellow, and you know, you're in a rush, you want to actually get somewhere, and you have to stop at this red light, and you're like, oh my God, another red light, like I'm going to be late. And then you always sit back, you're like, it is what it is.
Yeah, you never know what God was
Like,
trying to protect you from at that moment.
That's exactly what you say.
Yeah. There has to be a reason. But anyways, this podcast is starting to scare me. It wasn't meant supposed to be like this. We're trying to talk about pickleball. But anyways, yeah. So there was too much to go through. So I just want to know, answer any of those questions that we that we asked during this podcast in the comment section below. Because yeah, sometimes your gut might just save you. So always listen to yourself.
Yep.
And I want to know, have you played pickleball yet? I enjoy it.
If you haven't,
You got to play it.
try it out.
Yes, try it out.
Definitely try it out.
I'm telling you, it is worth the workout. It is a
good
workout. Yes, it is. I'm definitely excited to play again.
I was sweating this morning. Trust me, I was sweating. I needed a shower.
Yeah, I kind of like playing with 2 people, but I'm curious to know how 4 people would be. Like, would we get the same type of workout? Because when my dad was teaching us, it was obviously 1 to 3. Oh, 1 to 2.
Yeah, there was only the 3 of us.
And he was running around because we were throwing. We didn't know how to play properly, so we're just, trying to learn how to. Well, I was learning how to hit the ball over the net. Well, Curtis out here was being a pro. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's all we got for this podcast. Tell us something good with you. What have you been up to? How is work going? How is life going? How's your mental health going? Comment in the comment section below, because the conversation doesn't end with just me and Curtis. It also involves you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you liked it, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. And yeah, that's it. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good night, good week, and see you next time.
Peace.